It all started with a question. Who is the fittest on Earth? In 2007, the CrossFit Games were created to find the answer. The Games grew, expanded, and evolved into the ultimate proving ground for the fittest individual athletes in the world. In 2012, another question was asked. What would happen if the best individual athletes competed together on teams? The CrossFit Invitational was born. Athletes who had only been accountable to themselves were now accountable to each other. Individual fitness was no longer enough to prevail. Teamwork, communication, and strategy became as valuable as endurance, strength, and speed. The top 6 athletes from the United States were pitted against the top 6 athletes from Europe in 9 events. In the end, the United States prevailed behind the efforts of 3 Games champions. The following year, the Invitational evolved into a global affair as the United States faced off against the top 6 athletes from around the world. On paper, the Americans had the best individuals, stronger, faster, fitter. But on the competition floor, the world had the better team, the better strategy, and the better result, victory. This year, drawing from an increased talent pool from across the globe, the Invitational evolves again. 4 teams. The United States. 2 former Games champions lead a talented veteran and a promising newcomer on a quest for redemption on home soil. Canada. The reigning fittest woman on Earth and her individual rival join forces with 2 of the most powerful men in the sport to bring another championship back to their country. Europe. The land ruled by royalty is home to the Queens of Fitness. They team up with 2 rookies on a quest to bring a crown of a different kind back across the Atlantic. Australia, armed with a dangerous combination of experience, endurance, and raw power, they are a threat to bring a win down under. Once again, it all starts with questions. Will teamwork and communication best speed and strength? Will strategy hide individual weakness? Will national pride subdue individual pain? Will a team of champions become a championship team? San Jose, California, the site of the first CrossFit Invitational to be held in the United States. As fans filed into the SAP Center, the 16 athletes and 4 coaches waited in the bowels of the arena.
I feel like my blood is made of maple syrup right now.
Wow, you might be dehydrated.
Come on down, guys.
Okay.
Hey, Team Europe, you guys want to come on down? Can you make sure you just make room for them? Thank you.
No, I don't like it.
Oh man, before the competition starts even.
Spirits were light as athletes were briefed on movement standards with head judge Adrian Bosman.
Hip crease needs to be below parallel.
But the atmospheres in each locker room would vary greatly.
Guys, in between the events, I just want you to try and chill, relax, and just stay positive.
Be switched on. Whatever happens out there and however many things you have to think about, I want you to be switched on so that you don't forget to put your hand on the tire. So you don't forget that you need to have your knees down all at the same time. So let's try to keep switched on.
Things are gonna get a little bit chaotic in a few minutes. So I just want to tell you guys that they always say a team is as strong as their weakest link. And we're really very lucky because we don't really have any weaknesses, right?
Nope. The way you win on a team is you leave everything you fucking have for the person that's standing beside you, and you leave everything you fucking have for the country that's standing behind you. All right? We are gonna win this event. Let's everybody get in, we're gonna go win on 3.
Fucking do it.
1, 2, 3, win.
On your call, coach.
1, 2, 3, win!
The sting of last year's Invitational defeat, still fresh in the mind of Rich Froning, provided a quiet focus for a man unfamiliar with losing.
Rich, you getting restless?
A little bit. I don't like staying still.
Of course he doesn't.
I remember that.
I like
when
to
we were
walk
traveling
21K
together, it was
before I start.
I want to try that.
I'm Sean Woodland with Bill Grundler and 2009 CrossFit Games champion Tanya Wagner. Tanya, it's clear, on paper, the U.S. team has the best individuals, but as we have found out over the past couple of years, the best individuals don't always make the best team.
Yeah, these athletes are the best in the world, but it's going to be about who can show up tonight as a cohesive unit, as a team, and if and when they have to deviate from their plan, can they communicate that effectively?
These are the best of the best, basically demigods when it comes to fitness. The people that will probably be taxed by this are going to be the rookies. They need to prove themselves on these teams with these gigantic names, so if anyone's going to be affected, it's going to be the new guys.
Event 1 featured 2 classic CrossFit movements. Each athlete started with 45 pull-ups before moving on to perform 45 thrusters. The first team to get all 4 of its members across the finish line got 6 points. Second place got 4, third got 2. The fourth place team would get none. Event 1 of the 2014 Reebok CrossFit Invitational presented by HGST is underway. Cara Webb came out of the gates fast and would give the Australian team an early lead. Now Cara Webb will sprint to the finish line. Emily Bridgers for the U.S. team is done. Go! Michelle Latanda for Canada is finished. Sam Briggs is the only woman left on the barbell of the initial group of females. As soon as the first round of athletes finished, they went backstage to begin warming up for event 2.
I hate people with short limbs. I hate you when you run.
I'd say we have about maximum 10 minutes right now.
Forte trying to make it across the finish line that he will hand off to Danae Brown, and now Rich Froning is done and he will come across the finish line.
Good job, Brock.
Australia maintained their lead after 2 athletes, but with the fittest woman on earth in the third leg for Canada, they look to make up ground. Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet has moved Canada into second. Now Julie Fouché is done, and the United States is in third place. Con Porter, look at the wide grip that he uses on that pull-up. As the men took on the anchor portion of the workout,
Breathe and relax.
Australia was poised to take the first event of the night. Now the question is, can Con Porter get first place for Australia? And he has widened his lead as the Canadian team is now pushing, and Paul Tremblay will get the comeback for Canada.
Did they win?
And the Canadian team will win it.
Yes! Woo! Fucking
Yeah.
right. Fucking right. Fucking yeah. That's it. Yo! I know we won. You guys fucking pulled it off. Fucking A.
Paul fucking crushed it.
We could hear.
He was just one by one, just creeping up.
So fucking good.
Didn't slow down the end.
So proud. So proud.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. You saw them at the end. They were, those thrusters just got hard, but they didn't put it down. Like, it's just heart. It's just heart at the end, and they all had heart to finish. So I'm super proud.
The breathe so heavy, like it burns the lining of your throat, but it feels so much better getting one done. We're in now. We're rolling.
When Dave says go, that's when you have to approach the bar. So you got to get your mental prep done before he points at you and says go. Okay, the bar will be loaded, you'll be prepped mentally, he says go, address the bar, make it happen.
In event 2, 1 woman and 1 man from each team would attempt to find their 1 rep max snatches. The best single lifts from each person were added together to find a winner. In event number 2, Cara Webb for Australia, Emily Bridgers for the US, Michelle Latanda for Canada, and it's Samantha Briggs for Europe.
At the CrossFit Games, these athletes had to be prepared for anything, and it's no different here. Event 1 was fast and light. Now we're going heavy. This is the snatch event.
And up first, Cara Webb, a woman who did extremely well at the 2014 Reebok CrossFit Games until an injury forced her to withdraw, and she misses that first attempt.
Fucking stay focused, don't out kiki, just focus on what you have to do.
Bridgers hits 160 pounds. And no problem for her, as 160 in the bag. She power snatched it.
Wow.
Australia takes the lead at 185 pounds. And she will hit that.
Great speed under the bar.
Stand it up, stand it up, stand it up, stand it up.
Let's go a little extra.
What do you want? One white, one?
This is 182.
And Cara Webb can't get under 190, but she will still be in the lead. 177, and that's a PR, a personal record for Emily Bridges, and what a time for her to hit that. Michelle Latondra and Cara Webb would find themselves battling for the lead. The two would trade heavy punch after heavy punch. And Cara Webb, 195, back in the lead as Michelle Latondra goes for 192. Great lift for Michelle Latondra.
Nice and solid again.
Australia in the lead, followed by Canada, the United States, and Europe as all the competitors congratulate each other. But the men are up next, trying to add to the totals put up by the women.
She got you 192 points, buddy. Just add to it.
You're going to be pushed by what your ladies did. That may or may not affect some of these athletes, but you know that we're going to see some big numbers with these big guys thrown out here right now.
Let's have some fun, bro. Yep.
And Froning can't hit it. Canada now with a total of 437, and they will take the lead. Gudmundsson won't be able to hit that. Forte, no problem. Knowing his team needed a first-place finish to keep pace with Canada, Rich Froning thrilled the crowd with a mammoth lift of 300 pounds. With Europe's Björn Carl Gudmundsson unable to complete a single lift, and Australia's Rob Forte falling off the pace, the battle was between Froning and Canada's strongman, Lucas Parker. As he has always done, Rich Froning decided to leave no doubt. With 305 pounds on the bar, the champ looked to do what he does best: dominate. And the United States will win the 1-rep max snatch with a total of 482 pounds.
Most I've ever hit with competition plates is 290, so 15 pounds. I've hit 300, but not with competition. No, I was, well below my PR. Missed a few at 280. I don't think it would have made much of a difference though, because I would have still had to climb another 20-some pounds to catch up with first place, but just for personal pride, I would have liked to get a bit higher, but if someone falters a little bit, the others can pick up the slack, so glad I got some good teammates.
The Canadians look to build on their lead over the United States as the heavy barbells stayed on the floor for Event 3. Goes 3 for 3, 232. Thorisdottir will hit that, 227. So Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet and Annie Thorisdottir look like they will be the two moving on.
We're going to load with 238 for her bonus attempt. It's all points for Paul, points for Paul.
238 on the bar for Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet. This will tie her personal best lift. And that'll count. Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet, 238 pounds, tying a personal best. Annie Thorisdottir, her final attempt, 236 pounds. Power cleaning it once again. And no problem for Annie Thorisdottir, 236.
Yes! You're an animal, girl!
Canada will have the lead as they hand it off to the men. And Paul Tremblay for Canada can move some weight. No problem for Tremblay.
I think the other teams are saying
They should
right now
be.
because that was way too easy.
But Tremblay would have to deal with 2008 CrossFit Games champion Jason Khalipa. The two powerhouses quickly turned Event 3 into their own personal battleground. And a much better jerk on this attempt than the first one.
Oh man, he just makes it look so easy.
Tremblay at 365.
Wow.
That one looks better than the last lift.
Yeah.
Now here's Khalipa, another run at 355. No problem getting it stood up. And he will get the jerk. So Jason Khalipa, 355. With the win in Event 3 locked up, Paul Tremblay decided to pass on his final two lifts, and the Canada team took a 5-point lead over the United States into Event 4.
This is so different than at the games because everyone's like pretty close. You can see everybody. The lights are on and you can see everybody. But when you lift, like mirror eyes, like I don't see anything. I hear things, I don't see anything except what I need to do, you know?
I feel like for me, she was behind me, and when I would turn before I lift, just seeing her wearing the Canadian jersey on, that just fired me up. Like, it was like, yeah, I don't care if my legs are tired, I'll do whatever it takes. So that's a good feeling.
Next two should be fun. You know, so far the lifting is going well. We're doing what we're supposed to do and hitting our lifts, so.
Cara crushed it, Rob crushed it. I made the jump a little bit too big for Danae, but it's one of those things where you make the call as the coach. But man, they did great. They did awesome.
I'm excited now.
Yeah, right.
Now the lifting's done.
Teamwork and communication came into play for Event 4. Athletes would not only have to synchronize movements, but they would also need to know the limits of their partner's physical capacity. For Canada, an event win would lock up the Invitational Championship. For Europe, it was a chance to climb back into contention. And they had all the tools necessary to do just that.
The weight on this bar is heavy. 275 pounds the athletes need to hold. You know, if you're the athlete on the rower, you need to move fast. That time under tension is detrimental.
Knowing what was on the line, Thorisdottir and Briggs opened up an early lead. They have to tag hands after every rep, too. It's attention to detail here. If you missed that, it could cost you precious seconds. But it's the European team that leads. Canada sits in second. The United States trying to hold off Australia for third. Madge Jacobson, the Europe coach, looking on.
Come on, Andy, come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 girl. Fucking tear it up.
And the European women will be first across the finish line.
Fucking awesome.
Now the men will get to work. Lucas Holmberg and Bjorkman Gudmundsson on the rings. The Canadian women are done.
Way to go, you guys. Way to go. Nice job.
Lucas Parker and Paul Tremblay will now hop up on the rings. By the time the American women finished, both Europe and Canada were off the rings and onto the rowers. But Rich Froning and Jason Khalipa are the last two men you want to see in your rearview mirror. And here come the Americans. Rich Froning into the rower first. As the Europeans work away at those 10 reps, Jason Khalipa will hold the 405-pound barbell. As Europe's lead widened, the race for second tightened, as the Americans needed to keep the Canadians within striking distance. Every point counted heading into the final event.
Pick it up, Lucas! Come on! Come on! Let's go! Let's go!
And the Europeans racking up the win and 6 points.
Go, 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 go! Yes!
Go! Go!
This, in the big picture, is the battle that matters. Khalipa and Froning have taken the lead. 10 snatches at 185. Lucas Parker and Paul Tremblay are done. The USA chant is raining down here at the SAP Center in San Jose, California. 1 rep to go for Khalipa and Froning. Jason Khalifa locking that out. And the United States will finish second. And they are still alive here at the Invitational. But the Americans setting themselves up for a showdown with the Canadians in the final event.
One more, guys. One more.
Let's fucking have a blast. What? 6. We need this one. We need it.
Guys, empty the tank on the tire. Empty the tank on the tire. Grunt work, that's all it is. Keep picking that thing up while you're breathing. 3, 2.
Don't fucking panic. Stay focused and communicate with your partner. Okay, we can win this event.
All right, walk down, slip back, fucking
Climb.
climb.
What's on the center bus? So if anybody needs.
I have some down there, and you guys will be there for the tire.
1, 2, 3, win! Heading into the final event, Canada, the United States, and Europe all had a chance to win the Invitational, but they would face a pair of daunting obstacles. The first, a 950-pound tire. The second, one of the most notorious implements in all of CrossFit, the worm. Final event underway, and it starts with that 120-foot handstand walk. If one partner comes down, everyone has to stop.
All right, Julie. One more. There's your finish.
The Americans are first to the tire. They will alternate pairs flipping it. It weighs 950 pounds.
Right there. Take a deep breath. Squat low. Dig.
The United States has to beat Canada by 2 places to win the Invitational. The Americans lengthened their lead as the Canada team fell into 3rd place. With the Europeans in 2nd, a 3rd place finish from the Canadians would guarantee victory for the United States. The tire flips proved to be Canada's undoing. Michelle Latondra and Lucas Parker are struggling with that tire, and the Australians have passed them for 3rd place. The Americans are done flipping the tire. Each teammate needs to do 2 legless rope climbs.
All right, Julie!
Julie Fouché is done, and now the Americans hoisting up that worm. It's 4 segments. Jason Khalifa in front, calling out signals, keeping his team synchronized. They have to switch shoulders at the halfway point.
Wider step! Wider step! Over the line! Over the line! One more!
The Americans close to crossing the finish line. And then they will become the biggest European fans in this building. The United States is done! 6 points for the Americans. And now they wait and see if the Europeans can hang on to that lead. The Australians are on the worm, and the Canadian team is back in 4th.
And if you look at Paul Tremblay right here, he's failing on the rope climbs. This is what America needed to have happen because they needed to win by at least 2 spots. And this stopping point is going to just absolutely crush Canada's chances. It's not going to happen.
It's a battle for second here in this event. The Australians will get there first in this one. We're going to have to go to the timing chips to see who got across the finish line, but that means that the United States, Rich Froden, Jason Khalifa, Julie Fouché, and Emily Bridgers have won the 2014 Reebok CrossFit Invitational presented by HGST on their home soil. The rest of the teams coming back down the floor to cheer on the Canadian team, and this is one of the best things about CrossFit, that it is very often, we say it over and over, that the team or individual who finishes last often gets more cheers than the team or individual that finishes first. For the U.S. team, the Invitational started with a question. Could a team of champions become a championship team? Over 5 events and 2 grueling hours, Rich Froning, Jason Khalipa, Emily Bridgers, and Julie Fouché provided an emphatic answer. Yes,